Lazy derivative remixes. Star Trek ruthlessly points out the problem with Marvel and other multiverse franchises, including Star Trek. In an era where the multiverse has become the ultimate storytelling playground, franchises from Marvel to DC have leaned heavily on the promise of infinite possibilities. On paper, the concept is irresistible: infinite versions of beloved characters, infinite ways to surprise audiences. But Star Trek, in a rare moment of meta self-awareness, has taken a scalpel to this trend, exposing the truth that the multiverse often devolves into what one character aptly calls lazy derivative remixes. And the sting is sharper because Star Trek isn't just throwing shade outward, it's including itself in the critique. The multiverse problem. More is not always more. The multiverse boom of the 2010s and 2020s was sold as a revolution. Marvel's What If and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, DC's The Flash, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse all promise bold explorations of alternate realities. Yet too often, these stories end up as shallow spot the Easter egg exercises. They bank on nostalgia and novelty rather than investing in the core emotional storytelling that made audiences care about these characters in the first place. When Star Trek recently had a character deride certain multiverse stories as lazy derivative remixes, it was a line that landed like a photon torpedo. It wasn't just about Marvel or DC. It was about the tendency of big franchises, Trek included, to default to remixing past hits instead of risking new ideas. Trek's unique perspective. Unlike Marvel or DC, Star Trek has been experimenting with alternate universes since before the term multiverse became mainstream. The Mirror Universe debuted in the original series in 1967, offering dark, twisted versions of familiar characters. But here's the difference. Early Trek used alternate universes not just for spectacle, but to reveal something fresh about the characters we already knew. Evil Spock's goatee wasn't just a visual gag. It symbolized a world built on brutality, making Kirk's own moral compass shine brighter by comparison. Over the decades, however, even Star Trek has been tempted by the just remix it approach. Sometimes the novelty of a Mirror Universe episode is the point, and that's fine. But when these returns feel like little more than greatest hits compilations, it becomes exactly what Trek's recent critique warns about. Calling out Marvel without saying Marvel. The brilliance of Star Trek's jab is that it never actually names Marvel or any other franchise. Instead, it speaks in a universal pun-intended language about the risks of creative complacency. Marvel's multiverse projects have been particularly susceptible to the remix trap. Think Multiverse of Madness or the finale of Loki Season 2, where emotional arcs take a backseat to "look who's here" moments. The issue isn't that audiences don't enjoy these cameos or callbacks. Clearly, they do. The issue is that without meaningful new stakes, these appearances risk becoming hollow. Seeing Captain Carter wield a shield or an alternate Tony Stark in a different armor is thrilling for a second, but the thrill fades quickly if there's no deeper reason for them to be there. Trek's self-awareness is key. What makes Trek's commentary land is that it doesn't position itself as above the problem. Star Trek, Discovery, Strange New Worlds, and even Picard have all dabbled in nostalgia-heavy multiverse-style plots. Sometimes these episodes shine. Strange New Worlds, Those Old Scientists crossover was both hilarious and heartfelt, but other times they've skirted dangerously close to the kind of "look at this, remember?" storytelling they're now warning against. By acknowledging the trap, Trek is reminding itself and its audience that the franchise thrives when it uses alternate realities as a tool, not a crutch. The cure for the remix problem. So what's the antidote to lazy, derivative multiverse storytelling? Star Trek's history points to a few solutions. 1. Character first, gimmick second. The best alternate universe Trek stories, TNG's Yesterday's Enterprise, DS9's The Visitor, use the new reality to deepen our understanding of the characters, not just to show them in different outfits. 2. New ideas, not just new skins. Audiences are hungry for unfamiliar worlds and concepts. The Mirror Universe was fresh in 1967 because it was new. Trek needs to keep creating new, what-if scenarios instead of returning to the same ones on autopilot. 3. Emotional consequences. A good multiverse story leaves scars, even if the characters don't remember them. Alternate histories and futures should resonate beyond the gimmick. The bigger picture. Marvel, DC, and Star Trek all operate under the same commercial pressure. Give audiences what they already like, but make it